drinking. Grandma, why y'all talking about drinking wine in church?
Oh, that's that original James Cleveland. That's what that
That's
is.
it.
We don't watch what you say because we live. Watch what you say. It's only a 30-second intermission before we. What it do, brother? What it do? No,
Not much, man.
come
This
on.
thing wearing me out, man. With this submarine.
What's going on? Because like I said, you show up. See, let me tell you something. We start at I'm gonna go Eastern time. We start at 8:30 p.m.
8:30.
Eastern. You're right, and then 5:30 on the Pacific on the left coast. You show
You guys.
up.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
At
It's my fault, people. It's my fault.
5:30. 5:31.
Yeah, it's my fault, man. I come showing up at the late midnight hour.
You got the if we looked in the encyclopedia, the dictionary, CP time, we're gonna go ahead and put it out there. CP time. That's all right though. Hey, you know what? It's wonderful. It's a blessing to be here. Good to see you. I'm liking the color coordination. You got the Fred Sanford with the black and the yellow. You coordinate.
Yeah, you know what? I just threw this shirt on.
Yeah.
Because my man, I'm supposed to be doing another picture of one of his T-shirts.
Okay.
And I had this, I had this one on for Black History Month. Yeah. But the other ones, I gotta feel it to do it.
Right.
And so, especially when it's not like a immediate contract paid situation.
Right, okay. You don't do any more pro bono? Is that what you're saying?
We I'm like, look, I get to it when I get to it. You know what I mean? It's like not a big problem, but got some great stuff. It was just, I gotta feel it, man. I gotta feel it.
You only do things with invoices coming in now. There's no more just out of the goodness. Because now there need to be some deposits. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that.
Well, look, so improv topic number 1, right?
Okay, because I got the notes, right? That you started sending some notes. I said,
all right, we'll stick to that. No, we'll stick to that. I like it because I forgot.
Cool. KP sent me some notes, y'all, over the week. I said, oh, he trying to get coordinated. But
all right, so look, we'll go to those notes. Improv number 1, because I've been on this recently. I recently was doing a photo shoot not far from my house. And I had the model out there and I'm taking pictures. Lady comes up, oh my gosh, wow, do you have a card? I'm like, no. Model says, see, I told you need to get your cards and this, that, and the third. And so this wasn't an argument, but it was making a point. When people ask me about my music career and they say, oh man, you did these songs, this, that song, whatever. I share with people, I gave this analogy. I say, you have to be able to differentiate. Are you a musician that's an orchestra player and you play real good? Or are you a creative like a Stevie Wonder or a Prince or just even a Michael Jackson for that? And, are you one of those people? Are you a Frank Sinatra? Are you a Sammy Davis? Like you gotta know the difference. And then the other problem stacked on that is people that won't admit or that won't, understand or be honest with themselves if you're a Prince versus, somebody in the Philadelphia Orchestra. What I mean by that is I got buddies that read music like flawlessly. They can play all of the greatest whatever, but they can't figure out how to sit down and just hit the piano like I can and create a hit song. So, I'm just kind of like, so back to photography, I was just like, I'm not about that life of, hey, I do photography.
Yeah.
Because then I got everybody coming saying, oh, do my headshots, do this, do that. And here's my problem. If I'm not feeling it, I can't really do it.
Gotcha. So you not out there searching for building the portfolio. You just, when it comes or when the creativity hits, that's when you jump on it.
And I have the faith that it's like a seamstress, right? There's the person who makes say, okay, I'm gonna make shirts and I want to make a ton of money with it. Then there's the person that designs clothes. And that person gets to go to the celebrity's house. They get to go here, and kind of like a Marshall Fox type thing. You get to throw your numbers out there.
Yeah.
And the law of scarcity that you create, the law of inclusion that you create is either you want my service or not. This is how much it costs to do it. Boom, done. Once you get to that lane of like, you start passing out your card doing headshots or doing, 2-location photo shoot, then everybody starts comparing you to the other photographer. And then they say, well, James, he do headshots for $300. Why you charge $5? Because he don't do them like me. You see what I'm saying?
What telling the truth.
So
there's value in being
$100. Keep on charging. Well, Hicks, why don't you go and say it's like, because Keith don't do like I do. Yeah, and it's kind of hard to prove that if you out there saying, here's my card, or every time somebody asks you, you just like, here's my card. Well, then you can't really control who you spending your time with, because then you got somebody you don't know and they like, here's my check, but you like, yo, I just don't get what you're doing. So now my work is out there and you want credit for it. And then people were saying, well, Keith did this. And it's like, well, that don't look as good as the other thing you did. And it's like, yeah, because that person, their energy, their goal, their vision doesn't line up with what I'm doing. So I think people need to know you have the right to be like, that's not me.
Real picky. Yeah. And that is the good to go, right? That is the Marshall Fox, right? Again, high level creativity, and not everyone's your client. And there's a lot of folks, there's probably more than few that you actually have to turn down and say, listen, we not vibing, can't work with you. Would love to, but let me let someone else work with you. I'm working with these folks.
Like your whole platform, from the room to the streaming. If somebody down the street from you moves in and they say, hey, I want to do that, and now I got open checkbook, you can do it. But the time you're spending to put that together, you could be missing out on people that iron sharpens iron, or they add value to you to do that, even if their checkbook is not as big as the other person. Because at that point, the only value they adding is you ask for $20,000 to do it, and they give you the $20,000. The other person's like, I only got 10, but if you see something in them, can they add value? I know that's a big stretch of a number, but if you chasing the bag, you got to do whatever gig. If you got your creative juice flowing, you don't have to chase the bag.
A lot. I'm not going to even say a lot of folks. I'm saying there's a good subset of folks that are getting to that realization, man. Getting to that point right now, right? Because a lot of us have been doing this for a while, doing it for a minute, leveled up, doing whatever it is that we do. We know what we know. We know 10% more than the next person, so that makes us an expert, or whatever the case may be, right? And starting to get to that point where I'm seeing a lot of cats actually say, I'm not just going to show up on everybody's show. I'm not just going to go live to go live. Right? I'm not just going to go out there filling up space and filling up time. Now there's got to be value. There's got to be meaning. There's got to be a win-win kind of thing. Or again, if someone sees that spark in someone else's eye, or they got the drive, they got the determination to go out there and try to make something, then maybe you'll make an exception. But I'm starting to see a lot of that, and I'm happy about that. Because I was feeling a little disgruntled. I was like, man, y'all better get off your feet and get up and get to this work done. Y'all see KP out here with, got all these Wander. He's got Edelkrone, Ulanzi. You got folks calling you.
Yeah, and you know what?
And you weren't even reaching out, right? You were just out there doing you.
Right.
Right. You got jibs, sliders, and dollies and all this, and you got folks calling you, ooh, you want to do a feature with us? I don't know.
And so there you have it. There's where the calling comes in at, right? So the calling, calling and focus. So like, am I maximizing on it? No. But you know what I feel for in my calling is seeing people that it's like you can do the one thing that everybody's like, oh yeah, I want it like that, or I want that attention or something, and you're not so engrossed in it, but they are, right? But they don't want to listen to how you're telling them, here's a better way to do it, right?
Mm-hmm.
They won't really look at it like, well, here's a way to do it. And I really don't know what most people want. It's like, again, I'm seeing people again. New equipment comes out. I'm like, the mature people, there's a thing you're really happy about. So like if the new FX60 comes out and you excited about getting it, you're already in that lane. But
Yeah.
if you just now all of a sudden like, oh, the DJI Inspire, oh, unboxing, it's like, where's your other drone videos at?
Ooh.
You like, you know what I'm saying? Like
you ain't never done
you
another
new to
video.
this,
Yeah.
and are you looking for the attention to say boom? So something that I like about pouring off to people is I'm more so like, I'll keep quiet and do something like with my foot on the gas. So if I'm gonna go start snapping picture, I'm gonna snap hard. I'm gonna go in and make sure that the picture looks dope to me. Then if you tell me like, yo, you a dope photographer, I'm like, well, thank you. I received that.
Yeah.
But I'm not coming out with the, oh, here's the masterclass on photography, this, that, and third. Nah, masterclass is in how I project and what I do. And so sometimes I look at people like, yo, by the time they start doing masterclass, I'm like, you weak on a masterclass because you ain't been doing that where I look at you as a master in that.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
Right. I've been watching you because I'm cool with you, but I ain't see you as a master in that. So now you figured out, or like 3 people told you dope at it, and now you're doing a master class on it. It's like, that's a hustle. And here's the thing that somebody told me in preaching recently. They said, yo, stay with the integrity on how you preaching in the gospel. They said, because the one thing that some people in the pulpit don't understand, they think people in the pew are dumb. And it's like, they not, bro. Seriously, like, you start jumbling up some Greek and Hebrew or something, they Googling it.
Mm-hmm.
And they gonna look at you like, yo,
they got their iPads right there in church, right? So
I mean, they looking at you like you flim-flam. You start speaking stuff you don't know, people are fact-checking you. Let me say something wrong about the camera and Doc Rock is in the audience. He can be like, that's not it, partner. Let June be in there. They know. Or let me speak about something you know, and I'm talking about, oh, you like, Right. You can't keep trying to make people think that you know something you don't know. So it's better to have a track record of showing you. So, and then if somebody say you think, you like, nah, they said it. I'm just doing me. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm just doing me. That's all. You know, and in that, then you start to build an audience where you're doing a master class and people don't even know. You don't even have to call it a master class. You can just say, I'll show you. And they can pay you for your time. They can reciprocate you on something else. I mean, I think master classes are great. They're just not for everybody.
Yeah. So I think the challenge with that, and it's not, I don't like to say a problem, but I'll say the challenge with that with a lot of folks in society is that that's harder to do. Right. It's much quicker to get to those deposits and those checks coming in if you just say real quick that you are the expert and you provide a class, a workshop, a university, whatever, right? As opposed to first working on your skill, working in silence, kind of like you said. I love that piece right there, working in silence and building, working on your craft and incrementally building and growing, right? Having respect for the process. Right, that takes a little bit of time as opposed to just coming out there, throwing up a website real quick, charging $500 at the door, giving people a PDF and saying, do this because I did it, woo, and be done with it. There's quick return on that, but it's not sustainable.
Right.
And I wish, so I'm glad to see more and more folks figuring out that they want to do better, rise above the noise. I always talk about rising above the noise, but I do wish that more folks would just pause for a minute and get better at that craft. If we talk about content creators all the time, get better at that mic movement, that mic placement. Get better at that, at the f-stops. Get better at ISO setting. Get better at understanding your gear and your equipment. Understand why you need I can't even think. Oh my god, why am I blanking? The lenses.
Right. Yep.
Why prime lenses over zoom lenses? Right? Why you need that clarity and that kind of thing. Understand the gear and everything behind the scene before you go out there and say, here's my list of all the stuff that I think you should buy off of my Amazon store.
But see, I respect that, right? But the struggle I have is every now and then I'll go back into certain communities, said communities, and I see the general question, and I'm like, it's like Groundhog Day all over again. And now
Wow.
you have new gatekeepers, right? You have new fresh gatekeepers, and they are like literally the oppressors, the unintentional oppressors, because they're trying to do leadership and liking what they discovered. And the difference between folk like you and I and other ones, we don't discover for the discipline of everybody recognizing us. There are certain people that they discover so that they can be lifted. Others they discover so that they can lift others. So if I'm like, oh, we're in a pandemic and I'm trying to figure out, yo, everybody looks bad streaming. Then you come across that person, you're like, yo, dude look dope. Or she look dope. And you have the ability to figure it out. Once you figure it out, you bring it back to the community.
Mm.
You help the community, but then you got to know that there's some people in the community that's all they want. How do I look better? Bye. That's why people have the master classes, because it's like what you're not going to do is do a drive-by, right? Pimp me and not return or sew back into the community.
Yes.
I get it. That's why I said I am not against bag chasers, because most bag chasers aren't really greedy. They're just like, you're not going to get me for free, right? And then for me, I give because I grow as I give. Let that sink in.
Ooh.
If I don't give, I don't feel like I grow. So if I figure out how to make the mic sound dope, I'll give my technique on that, but I give it to grow, to say, once I gave it, then everybody sounds the same. How can I sound better? By the time you go up next and everybody asks you or figure it out and you give it off, then you grow, because it's a natural, constant agriculture, digital, mental thing for me that as I give, I grow. So that's just the point with me. If I don't give, I don't grow. That's how I feel.
So is that because of your circumstance? Is that because of your life? Right. Again, you give so you can grow, because you're not chasing, you're not after financial gain from this. From right. I mean, if financial gain comes from it, if you get those,
it's a consequence.
Right.
That's the way I always think about it.
Consequence, right? So
yeah. So I'm gonna take it.
The fact that
I'm gonna take it because I believe it's a consequence, right?
You gonna take them deposits. You will take that cash app or no,
Sir.
or whatever it is, right?
Sir,
but since that's flipped on you, right? Since it's flipped on you, and your primary goal is not only for the finance piece, is that why you're able to think a little bit deeper into this, right? I mean, I think because you're not initially looking for the financial gain, that you're actually able to be more of an asset to the community and your community, because you can be more creative, because you're not locked in on just one outcome. You're actually trying to learn yourself. You're trying to prove, I think you're trying to prove to yourself that you can do what you do. And then you are out there telling people about it because you want to see them grow. You're not because you want to see them do what you do and send you a check. If that happens, like you said, it's a consequence. But again, that's not your drive. That's not your intention. And I wonder if that's part of your success.
I would say so. I mean, I can agree with you on that. And you know what I'm starting to realize? Like, everybody can't do it. The book that I will probably eventually write when it's time is going to be titled around, it's not a new concept. It's titled around the it, right? Or just it. and there's probably book titles with that title already, but books out with that title. But I'm gonna uniquely put it, and it's really gonna be simple. It's focused around IT, like it. And that it is one of those things where I'm gonna make the argument of you can't really explain it, but everyone has to find their it. And their it is just that thing that you do that no matter how much you try to build around it or whatever, it doesn't matter. It's just in you. And all you have to do is do it.
That
Right.
thing that you do.
Right. You can't really, and you can't explain it. Like you won't be able to package it and tell people what that superior it is. So you can get around it or say it like people that like this stuff that I do, they'll say you have that thing the way you take pictures and stuff. And so somebody that doesn't have the it, or they have not discovered their it to gain from your it, they're lost. So they keep chasing your it and they never have their it, because they'll be like, oh, I like how he or she's doing what they're doing. And they look at what you accessorize your it with. And then they try to get all the accessories you got, and they never get it to look like you're it, because it's like you're not
mad at you, right? And they be mad at you because they can't get to
man.
Their white balance is off on their camera. Come on,
dude. I'm feeling like it, and I'm, you know what? And I'm glad you said that too. So part of my it is I will know the fundamentals and the rules, but, and I don't want to say it's an error, but it's like I just say screw it. I say it another way in my head. I just say screw it, right? So that if you ask me, I'm gonna be like, yeah, I know you're supposed to do this. I know you're supposed to do that. I know when to use a prime lens, when not. But then I'm gonna break the rules. So like photo shoot I did yesterday, I had that 70 to 200, and then I had a second camera arm that I was throwing primes on. And in my head, I'm envisioning, okay, I'm gonna go here with this prime, and then these other ones, I'm gonna compress that with the background and stuff, the aims and stuff. Somebody say, oh, what tripod you use? I said, you know what? I thought about it. I said, honestly, I don't even use a tripod. I said, it's very specific when I use a tripod. And I'm like, a tripod is when you're stationary and you got to do 1,000 shots and you got to keep it all consistent.
Yeah.
But I was like, my flow is so much more creative. I need to be able to move, and I'm not picking up and dropping the tripod. And they're like, wow. So the results, this photo shoot I just did, I'll show it to you off air. Crazy.
Like that.
Crazy. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah. Crazy.
And I can give you a glimpse of my picture, but I can't give you a glimpse of the model in it. But when you see it, you'll be like, oh, snap. Like, it's fire, James. And I'm just like, I just put my foot in it. So I literally went out and scouted different areas. And I was just sitting there in the car looking at it, like, boom, took a picture on my phone, and I had it in vision. And then I simplified, just got the equipment, and then I went and I did it. Like, and things happened. One of my battery wasn't charged in the 8400 Pro. Okay. I'm like, come on. Okay. So I had to get the 200.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then I had to play with the sun and go like, let me go over here. The sun gonna be my key light. Let me go over here and do this, pow. And then I'm gonna do so, that's my it. My it is I don't worry about the crossing T's and dotting I's.
That's actually, I swear that's better. I swear that's where the innovation comes. And I was honestly, so sad story, because I was actually listening to the story about the folks that lost their life in the Titanic, that submarine, and the guy who founded that company said the exact same thing, right? Can't be safe all the time.
Yep.
Can't follow the rules every single time. You got to break some rules, and that's the only way you can innovate. That's the only way we as a society will evolve and grow and learn and do new things. That's the only way we'll get down to 2 miles down underneath the sea to the Titanic, or get to Mars, or whatever, right? There's got to be someone who does that to give us something different, a new perspective. And I wish more and more folks would not be intimidated by. Now, again, I'm not talking about going 2 miles underneath the water to go to the Titanic, because like we saw, unfortunately, we lost 5 folks today. But there's just got to be some more people that are willing to break those rules, or bend those rules, or think themselves, do differently, right? And do it the way KP wants to do it, as opposed to the way everyone else is doing it, and just see what happens, right? Don't bring the tripod. right?
You know what?
And see how that works out.
The reason why that it situation I'm gonna try to do is so big on me is because the it defines like the you're it. Matter of fact, I might tell it you're it, right? And so it's kind of like think about tag, you're it, it's
Mm.
on you, or you're it, meaning the noun, your thing. So the thing is, you know, in what you're saying there, every everybody can't do it. That's the problem. You know, some people don't have that in them to just break the rules because there has to be a rule. You can't sell a tripod as a company and say you don't need a tripod, right? Because you know, I'll create it. Wow, this is good. So in the trading said the school system teaches us to follow the rules.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yep. It does. It teaches us to follow the rules. And I think rules should be followed. The thing is, we don't have enough space for finding that it. So back to my thing, the you're it, right? It's the area of knowing the rules, but then it's not even so much as breaking the rules, it's just doing you, right? Like everybody doesn't drive the same. I'll be laughing at people that hold the wheel like this when they drive, and I'm like, who does that? Like maybe in a sports car going 100 some miles per hour, but I'm not driving on the highway.
Or maybe just when you're taking that first test, right? When you get in that first test,
yeah, when you get
to
the
get your
first test,
license. But after that,
I mean, I done graduated from Philly. You ride like this, you know, but then I grow up. So, you know, I ride it. But I'm not sitting there like this. I'm looking at grown old men doing like this. I'm like, dude, that's crazy. Like, so remember, everybody can't do it. And because they can't do it, the other side of it is knowing, you know, that you just, you can't, because you can't train that. Because it's almost like a system, right?
There you go.
We're even training people to be like an Elon Musk. You can't actually do it. Or what you're really telling people is pull the weird, what the world calls weird, out of you and be confident in doing it. You get what I'm saying?
Yes.
Like that's one other problem that you'll see. People try to jump outside the box, but if you notice, you watch them, they don't have confidence in doing it. There's no confidence there. It's like that's when it starts to be corny because it's like, okay, you want to set yourself apart, but you don't even have confidence in doing it. Like I point and shoot, I don't care. You know, people, oh, you know, the lighting and this, that, there. Dog, the sun is moving, the clouds is moving. I ain't got time to do all of that. You know what I'm saying? Oh, you should do more headshots. That's boring to me.
Yeah.
That's boring. The picture I just did with the strap and the camera and stuff. If you really look at the picture that the companies were like, Holdfast was like, yo, this, that. My face ain't technically in focus. The strap is more in focus. The camera's out of focus, and my face is slightly off focus.
Yeah.
And you know what that was? Here's my it with that. I'll give everybody a quick technique that Keith does.
First of all, let me tell you this. First of all, you wasn't zoomed. You wasn't focused on the strap. You was focused on them biceps. Hold on, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, what he was focused on. I think he worked out that day. So what he did, he put some cocoa butter on them elbows and said, let me go ahead and zoom in on the. But you did have a little Lawrence Fishburne look back there. I do like that. Go ahead, tell the people what you was doing. Brother.
You feeling that?
Right there.
So that's one. It's that next shot. If you pop it over, that next. So that right there has the camera in focus and the. See this right here?
Yeah.
You can see how out of focus that is. The strap is actually the most in focus thing.
Right.
And around that center body.
Yeah.
Right? But the first picture was intentional because I wanted to show the dynamic, and I'm going to use that for my business cards. Shout out to Dr. Virgia Jackson. She's like, yo, that's your business card right there.
Dope.
And like
that's hot.
Two other people told me, go back one picture. It's the picture before this. That's that right there.
Yeah.
Because it gives you two things. It's me looking, But then, and if you zoom in that eye, you don't have to zoom in, but my eye is open behind the glasses.
Yeah, I see it.
You see it? I
Where you looking
intentionally
at, boy?
had
Where
the
you-
because you think when you put the camera up, you close the eye.
True.
So you look in there. I intentionally left this eye open, right? And then, because I'm making it like I'm 50-50. So the statement I kind of was playing with the wordplay is when we have 20/20 vision, I'm throwing out there 20 is the eyeball and the other side of it is the prime. So whatever lens I put on the camera, that's what my vision is.
Okay, there it is, 20/50.
Boom.
There it is. Okay,
Yeah.
see? The story behind that right there is dope. just right there. Let me drop some kind of sound effect right there. Just because I saw that, and I said maybe he mistyped or something. I said, but okay, now that I know the backstory,
Nope.
That's tight, boy. I ain't mad.
Because you think perfect eyes is what, 20/20 vision, right? So 20, and then whatever the prime is on there. So if I put a 24 on there, it's 20/24.
Boy,
20/35.
Y'all. Keith on a whole nother
20.
level. Y'all not ready for this. Y'all not ready.
20/7200. You know what I mean? 20/85. That's how that's how I look at it. And I intentionally did that. How you like my hat, man?
Because
you
almost wore mine.
You've been on that. I needed some schooling on it.
I almost wore mine. They know me at the Haberdash. So go down there and get me a couple of fedoras. But I do like that straw action there. So yeah, that's tight.
I'm new at it, bro. So you a vet on it. I'm new because I seen some of your older broadcasts. I'm like, oh, look at him with his hat. I just tried this and it works.
Yes, it's working. It's working. Here we go though. We gonna do something different, but we better not see a whole bunch of folks try to follow suit. We gonna need some.
I'm late. Feet. I'm the last one. Everybody, all my buddies, they all then had an event and they wore the hat. And I was like, I don't think I'm gonna look right in it. So I surprised my wife, got two like kind of non-expensive hats just to see how it looked. And I put it on.
You get the red bottom hat? I know. Irvin got a couple of them because I seen him.
Irv got hats galore. He been on them joints like he probably like you, man. He been doing hats forever. I should have just went and stole one of his.
Probably.
That's what I should have did.
I would check out his stream earlier today. Him and his partners talking about the Eagles and everything. They were doing. He did that thing.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, I need to borrow your FX, man. Shoot, I wish I was around the corner from you. I got to shoot something with Irv. I need that beast of a boy that you got.
It's the one.
That's made for what we got to do.
I'm not buying nothing else for a little bit. I got what I need. I got what I need today, and I got what I need in the short and midterm. Right. So I still got some things to learn about some of the gear, but it does what I need, and I've bought for the future. Now, maybe next year when I start doing a couple of different other things that I got on the books, then it'll be time to upgrade or get something else, get something additional. But bought once, bought right, or buy right and buy once. So I got what I need today and what I need tomorrow, and I'm just going to continue creating and being creative like you are, man, and just riding and staying in my lane.
Okay.
So, come on now. What you got on your mind?
Nugget, right? So I started out listening to people, as soon as I got in the full frame, you need prime lens. And somebody else, you need this, you need that. So I got the zooms. I started out. I got the 7200, had the, what's his name? Then the Sigma, right? The Sigma is just still like the golden.
Keep that Sigma. And don't lose that. Put that on the home insurance war. That's the one. That's that one.
And unless you got G Master money, you get a 24 to 70 G Master version, which is like double the price. Cool. But if you're on a budget, you get that Sigma 2470 something else or not, depending on how you're shooting. I just got into primes and I got them. I know what I'm doing with it. The statement you just made, I went to hop on, was the fact of the gas is not bad. Gear acquisition syndrome is not bad. And then, like you said, I'm with you with certain things. Stationary things need to be future-proof, right? But things that are like mobile and progressive, you can't technically future-proof it, right? So the next rule is buy what you'll keep. Like, think about it. real productive people, you're going to buy and spend on what you're going to keep. You got to know the stuff that's going to change.
Yeah.
Right. So like the buy it right or buy it twice is the difference between, oh, I'm gonna get a ZVE1, ZVE10 to do these videos versus a FX. Then the sad bandwagon that's kind of crazy. This is a bad argument, but the new ZV, right? Is it better than the FX, or is it kind of like they threw a little candy in there?
Okay,
but is that the move based on how you record?
Here's the move, and we're going to make it even more relevant about what's happening literally right now today with everybody, almost everybody.
Okay.
The Rodecaster Pro 2. Everybody wants to get now, what? The Duo. Why? Because it's smaller. More. Same thing. Everyone spent the money. I think, I forgot what was it, $700 or whatever, right?
Bro, right. I'm laughing at folk. I am laughing at folk. I still got my first
you
one
still
here.
Got the original, right? You still got the OG.
I am laughing at people where I'm like, they got both of them joints sitting on a desk. They got the original one sitting in the corner. And it's like nobody, without seeing it on camera, knows any hell of a difference of what you got sitting over there. And then something else come out new and was like, oh, I got to save up for that.
Right. You already paid $700 and got the RCP2. Now you want to pay $500 for the Duo because it's smaller, and you want to sell that one because it's a third. Okay.
The worst thing to do is explain.
Shouts out to Lionel Belly in the comments. That's a bad man too. I've seen him on doing some streams a lot, man. He's out there putting in the work. Appreciate you.
What's going on, Lionel? and the sad thing is explaining that it takes up less space on the desk.
Come on, man.
Like nobody's on your desk but you.
Ain't nobody.
So that's not a selling point, and you're not teaching anybody anything, right? Mm-hmm. To say I can use it in the field, you got to know. This is what we as professionals know.
Oh,
I got stuff sitting in the garage now because I literally said, I'm not taking my soft boxes out of here to light up something I got to do video for. Are you kidding me? I still got my old Newer joints with the fans in them. For when I go out to a gig, it's like I just pop them joints up, beat them up, whatever.
I'm not taking I
ain't taking my Aperture and Godox out of here to put up in somebody's venue or something. You can get them Newers. You know what I said? And I still got the little cheap behind remote for it too. I pop them joints on. Foof. Good.
You finna get them Newers. You're not getting these Amarans.
Lionel, exactly. Folk have been chasing, and then they trying to. This the best part. Then when they go to resell it to somebody, they tell you how good it is for you. It's like, why you upgrade?
Oh, why you leaving it?
Come on, people.
See, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt, but that was literally. I've seen so many conversations about that. Again, people that spent this. I think it was 700. Hold on, let me see how much was this thing. We gonna take a look and see right now because I want to make sure that I'm not misspoken.
Bro, the matrix of it now is, and then so here's the cycle.
700.
Then the cycle is to show everybody that you got the new Rodecaster.
Wow.
Right.
Wow.
And again, like I said on the last show, Tom Buck has already reviewed it. So-and-so has already reviewed it. All these professional people that do it, that the company sent it to them. You went and bought it.
Way ahead of time before it was generally available.
Way before you could buy it on B&H. They done reviewed it. Review coming out. That's why I watch all my camera guys, right? Here, I'm going to give a tip. So my favorite YouTube guys, I look at their Instagram and I'm digging in to see them between products. I want to see the post of you and your girlfriend just chilling, or you and your homies overseas. I'm looking at Manny Ortiz when he's just hanging out and the off-scene stuff. That's what I'm looking at, right? And then you'll know when it's just like, oh, doing a review like the Viltronics or Viltrix, whatever, 16 millimeter. All these people with the 16 millimeter Sigma lens, right? They're looking at this lens. The cool thing is it's full frame. It got a little computer on it and whatever. And it's like, oh, check this out. And it's just like, somebody asked me, he was like, yo, did you check out that new lens? It's only $500. I'm like, okay, what are you going to do with it? I'm going to do real estate. When have you done real estate?
Ain't never gone out there.
You say real estate because Chris said it on Instagram. You don't have a need for it. Look at that joint, $549. Yeah. Cute.
Great price. See, the problem. Okay. See, and I all right. I bet it's great. I bet it works.
Right.
And Sony E-mount and all that. Folks who are in Sony know this, and this is, I'm not saying anything that's not known. There is focus breathing issues with certain lenses that are not Sony glass. I've had it with some Sony. I've had it with some old Sony cameras. I've had it with some old Sony lenses, and finally on the R5, I think the R4 had it. The FX3 and FX30 have fixed all that because they got focus breathing compensation. I would be concerned about paying $600 for this lens right here, $550 for this lens, thinking that I'm going to get out there and do some type of phenomenal real estate landscape photography and end up having a focus breathing problem. Because you're not just going to do the photo, right? You're going to get more of that focus breathing when you're doing the video piece, right? When you want to show the landscape and you want to do the pan and tilt, pan and zoom. That would be my only concern with that. Is that built into this lens? Probably not. And but you bringing up questions on here. What you got?
No. I'm assisting you over here. I know you got it, but I was putting it down here so I remember it.
I'll put the question up from Flo. Appreciate you being here, Flo. But that's my problem right there. Again, $549, phenomenal price. Not even available yet. New item coming soon. Viltrox. They make quality products, but keep that in mind. You're gonna mess around and you're gonna buy a A7R5. You're gonna mount this Viltrox full frame. 16 millimeter lens on it, and it's going to have focus breathing problems because you're not just going to do photo. You're going to try to do video on it as well, and it's going to be breathing back and forth. And then you're going to be mad. Why? Because you didn't know how to use your own equipment.
Yep.
So that's almost an answer to Flo's question about use case as well. But go ahead. But I'm on one.
No, so you know what's interesting? So the reviews weren't strong enough, but the automatic focus cinnamon lens, right? From Ronikin, I don't know how to pronounce these company name. And they also have a Broken Eye.
Well,
and what's the company that's the same one?
You over there dipping in that Pinot. That's why he came.
What's the company? It's the same company, Samyang, right?
Yeah.
So they both the same company, literally. One's the Chinese company, one's the American version of it. So the thing with their lenses that's dope is it's got autofocus. It's got the red and green light on there for record, not record. Mm-hmm. It works if you're using a gimbal. It works if you're using a cine rig stabilizer or something. All the lenses weigh the same, and you can have your different ones. I don't do enough video work that the quality of my video work that I have to present, right? I'm about to drop a hot nugget right here.
Come on now. Go ahead. Hold on.
I don't do enough video work that I have to present where the quality of what I'm using can be distinguished, right? I'm not recording doing a bunch of LUTs. I'm not doing color grading and all of that stuff. I'm not turning over work like that, right? Then the next issue is 9x16 or, wide, or, if the client wants it on social media, right? So then it gets better. So I'm going to accessorize for what works for what I'm doing. So right now, my A7 R5 and A7 IV, right? I use both of them interchangeably, tomato, because, and here's my skill set. If I know that the client is apprehensive about certain shots, I'm going to use the A7 R5, right? Shoot with it because I know they're probably going to crop this. Or if they're like, I don't know if I want a tight shot or a wide shot. Okay, I'm going to put it on the A7 R5 and shoot it. So when you crop it, my picture doesn't suck. The A7 IV, I can still do that because any kind of cropping they're doing, it's only pulling it from 41 megapixels down a little bit. So I said all that to say this. You can't listen to the fools that are sitting there arguing over pixel peeping between the A7 IV and an A7R5 when it's not relevant to the type of work that you do. You're doing headshots for crying out loud. You square up your shot. Nobody needs to crop it. So why are you buying and oh, my camera's, I got the A7R5. I mean, I'm running into people that's like, because my camera's like it is, I'm running into photographers that's like, they got the A7 IV and they like, yeah, what you got there? And then because they can't tell. And I'm like, A7R4. I mean, A7 IV. And then I whip the other camera. Like, what's that? That's the 5. You got the big boy. Nobody's using a flippy screen. So we basically got the same thing. Like, dude, stop the pissing match on what's better. And the reason I said that is because every time new gear comes out, people think that the gear is going to make them better. And the problem is they don't know what their it is that they're accessorizing. Right? See how this is all tying back to what we said before.
Go ahead, boy.
If you don't know the it that you're accessorizing, so the way I say buy into your creativity. Don't buy to create. All right? We gotta be like Moses. Don't try to reinvent the wheel. Use what's in your hand. Use what's in your hand. So if you use what's in your hand, then you'll know what to accessorize with afterwards. And what it goes to show is people that just got a ton of stuff in their garage, and every time something new comes out, they're redundantly getting it. Like I said with the microphones, ain't it ironic that out of all the dancing everybody did with all these different microphones, everybody's got an SM7B or MV7? Why do we go through all? If your name ain't Tom Buck, sit down. You can retweet, re-push that. Tom Buck is known to have 1,000 microphones because he collects them. Anybody else, you better prove that to me.
Yeah.
Sat down somewhere with the new so-and-so come out, the new so-and-so, the new so-and-so. You don't even know what you're talking about.
Wow.
Get that part.
I'm just letting that marinate for a minute because I had to take the glasses off.
It is. And I say this not to argue it. I say this to help. Because I've literally had people that didn't know I had the A7 IV and the A7R5. They're like explaining. I seen a guy pressing another guy, and the guy had an A7 III, and he's going in like, oh, the A7, 4. And then they see it, and they go, yo, I saw your pictures. Which one you shoot that with? I'm like, I don't know. That's a 35 millimeter lens. Which camera was it? I don't know. But see, the autofocus is I focus manual most of the time.
Go ahead.
You know what I'm saying? I'm like DMF.
And listen, and camera's been doing that forever. There's nothing wrong with the old school. I started with Pentax back in the day. I can go and get my old Pentax film camera and take some Ansel Adams type photos, and they are just as good. It's not the camera, it's not the gear. It's the person standing behind it.
You know what I almost did? Like a dummy.
Yeah.
I was so close to getting a Leica.
Ooh, well, you see what you got. That's that Grammy money right there. That you go.
No.
That's that siphon coffee money right there,
bro. I have a good habit of
hold on. I don't think folks understand.
Seeing the wagon. Yeah. Seeing the wagon, but I don't let the band drown me out of my intelligence. Right. So I see the wagon, but I don't jump on the bandwagon because I don't let the band drown me out of my intelligence. So I seen a person I'm watching, and I love them as a photographer, and they shoot Canon. And next thing you know, I was like, oh, they got a Leica. Whoa, what's the thing with Leica? So of course, people ain't stupid. I Google what is the thing with a Leica camera? Like, what is the thing? And you know what I learned? It's like I'm buying a pair of special edition Jordans.
Yeah. These the Louis Vuittons right here, boy. That's what these are.
Right? It's like, you can have your wander bag on a vacation, or you can have a Louis Vuitton luggage set. They both carrying your clothes from A to B. Now, you feel better because it's a Louis Vuitton? Fine. Now we can get into the details of the absence of a lot of the features and this, that, and the third simplifies the shot for creativity. So if something comes up and I have the bug and I'm just like in the moment, Will I get a Leica? Maybe, but I'm going to know my why when I get it. Because in my brain already said, does that go with my creativity to simplify what I do? So if you see in that shot, I literally got the lenses that kind of mimic the simplicity, right?
Oh, come on. Now
It's not as small, but I took the idea of what makes Leica shooters the Leica shooters. And they're like, well, the camera lasts. Okay, they proved that point. But I'm like, what is better about the picture?
Yeah.
Technically, it's nothing. So a guy that has a bunch of cameras, he's like, I got this one, that one, that one. He's showing it on YouTube. And he's like, so the real thing with this, and I listen to him, is he said, it's the discipline of it. Not the quality of it. It's the discipline. The thing is like hand built. You can argue.
That's what I was gonna say. That's the only thing about these is the build quality of Leicas. Because listen, Nikon makes a great camera. Canon has been doing it forever. Olympus,
Fuji got a good one.
Fuji got a hot camera. I mean, all these companies, I didn't even mention Sony purposely because we all Sony, converse, and that's what we do. It's just they use higher end quality materials, and they come straight from, I don't know, the salt mines of underneath the ocean, whatever the case may be. So that's why they charge it for it. And then they each hand built by instead of machine manufactured. That's okay. But I was going to ask you, now you're not going to make this $6,000 camera your primary shooter if you got an R4 and an R5, are you? Or are you? Or would you?
Would I get a Leica?
Yeah. Well, if and when you get a Leica, it would be, I'm sure, to complement your inventory and your what you have.
Would and it's crazy.
Make that your primary shooter.
No, like you know what's crazy? I would have to force myself.
You're going to spend $6,000. No, why wouldn't you?
Yeah, that's the problem. That's why I wouldn't get it, because I would have to make it the main thing. But then here's the thing that people get confused in their creativity.
Yeah.
If you don't understand your why, you get the Leica, then you got to post I shot with the Leica camera, and then the real people that follow you and like what you do, they may mistakenly say, "Oh, these pictures aren't as great as your other ones," and then you'll feel like you wasted the $6,000 because they'll feel the need to compare what you're doing. You see what I'm saying? Like when you announce, like half the time I don't know which camera I'm picking up. I know what I'm picking up when I'm shooting, but in my post, every now and then I'll just go in Lightroom and be like, "Show me all the pictures I took with this camera over that camera." So I done moved from which camera did I shoot with to which lens did I use.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? Because it's like which camera doesn't matter, because a friend of mine, he was just like, "Yo, I'm gonna get into Sony. What should I get?" Bunch of people, "Oh, you can get A7IV." And I'm like, he don't need A7IV. I was like, dude, the guy at the store is selling his A7 III. You can get that sucker. Yeah, but I want them good pictures. Get the glass.
Get your glass.
I said, get the glass. And then I assessed how he shoots. And he's like, well, I want to do some weddings and this. I said, then you need zoom lenses. Somebody, "Oh, you need prime." I said, okay, you can listen to them or you can listen to me. I'm trying to tell you. I told you. And then they were like, well, what happens when you, I'm like, I see where you're going. Rent the lens. Put it in the budget.
Yeah.
Rent the prime lens, but buy the zooms.
Yep.
Right? I said, buy the zooms. And everybody's sitting there looking at me like, damn, that's good advice. It's like, don't sit there and send this man out there to get 85 prime, 35 prime. Then he's sitting there trying to switch the lenses up because he can only afford one camera. No, you need a Sigma 2470, right, with the A7 III so that you can zoom and stay out of the way of the bride and the groom. That's the kind of stuff that, people don't really teach, because we're in a world where everybody's still trying to be this special person rather than give to grow.
Lionel says we should teach this in the community.
You on it?
No,
your heart's in the right place, James. Because
it was. I'm a little disgruntled right now. I'm not answering no more questions in the community. I don't know if you saw a couple of days ago. So I'm taking a pause right now from being overly helpful. Man. That's right. I'm gonna be selfish and childish for a minute. I'm gonna show y'all.
No. Can I help the community? James?
You can do whatever
Here's
you
my
need to do. Yeah,
here's
you
here's my take. Lionel,
I ain't
you
doing
gonna
that.
laugh at me with this. Lionel, you gonna laugh. And some of y'all listening, y'all gonna be like, this is why we don't see Keith in the community a lot. Cause I'm a jerk. My guys, the twins, my homies, everybody, K Money and D Rock and everybody, right? Caleb, all of them. But here's my thing with the community. If I'm on that team, I'm gonna sit down in the meeting and reassess what we're doing. Here's what I learned. The company does a platform. You sell a software, right? That works for streaming. The problem is the community asks the company to do everything outside of what they already provide and you already pay for. This is where I would try to help the different people. Shout out to our homie across the pond, Tech One, and everybody else that can help, right? When India was doing the Stream Deck Masterclass or whoever, this is where I would promote for all of them, because the community is trying to provide answers by a bunch of inexperienced people in areas where you can cut across the field, pay for the classes, and then figure it out from there. If you notice, we buy this product and go in the community and say, what kind of mic should I get? Ecamm is not obligated to tell you about what mic. Here's my thing. My acronym, and some people got close to it. I'm not saying they bit it off me, but my thing was clear. Camera, lights, Ecamm, audio to record, right? And so in that acronym, the E, once you take the E out, E is Ecamm. Ecamm is not obligated to tell you what kind of mic to put on your system. That program is designed that you can get a Mac computer, a laptop, install Ecamm, and do everything. And Ecamm owes you nothing because you got a camera in the laptop, you got a microphone here, and you can hear it, or you got speakers, or you can put headphones in. That's all Ecamm is obligated to do. Your internet provider, that's on you. Your Wi-Fi connection, that's on you. Your camera, you want to upgrade it, that's on you. But you know what the company does? They start to facilitate, and then they got untrained facilitators in there, and everybody's having a pissing match over a Rodecaster, a Focusrite, a SM7B, a Godox. What in Ecamm says we're responsible for your lighting?
Somebody go wake up Doc right quick and tell him to get on this trip.
Somebody help me real quick. I'm about to revive. Let's Get Live camp. It should be an instant. Here's Ecamm, and if you got any questions on anything outside of this program, you can pay for Tech One, James Hicks class, Doc Rock class, so-and-so, whatever you want, you go there and get it.
Let's do that. Hey, let's
I hear what I'm saying? Dude, it's like when you buy your car, right? You want rims on your Tesla? You don't go to Tesla, only going to offer you a certain type of rim that you basically losing money on. You want some pimped out rims, you go down the street to the other company. You want to put the extra kit on your Charger, you go down to the other auto body shop. You want spoilers on it, you go there. The dealership is like, this is what you bought off the lot. We're done. And my issue that I had was it became a community that people are pissed. Oh, I'm getting rid of this.
It's not working.
Because my SM7B don't sound. That's your problem.
Don't blame that on Ken and Glenn, right? They made
shout out to the twins, man. Shout
out there for content creation and sharing stories online, and you gonna blame them because your lights aren't right.
I need y'all to. Ecamm gonna hire me as relations manager.
I'm gonna be hire me as Keith's security because he gonna stir up some trouble. But that's a decent idea, man. To do something like that, just fire up a side consultant. But that would be so much.
Look at the community. They got a trading post.
Yeah. Well, somebody I don't think that was started even by like
Okay,
Katie
all
and
right.
them, right? I think that was probably started by someone in the community. I don't know. Maybe I think someone like Rich or I think that was actually started by somebody in the community as opposed to. Here, let me log on. I haven't been on Facebook since I had that little run in. So hold on. Let me just log in.
Oh, you got Facebook banned?
No. I'm gonna leave it alone. Let's see here.
Ooh, Jane.
I'm gonna let's see here. Apparently, I
You
made
know
some suggestions in the wrong. I ain't gonna say nothing.
what in the community?
Yeah, I'm done with y'all.
Oh, that's be interesting. Did they delete the post?
I don't know.
Y'all
I
deleted it?
told him I was through with him, so I know I'm being petty. I'm gonna stop. I should. I made a
Nah, I wouldn't say
recommendation for.
petty.
I made a recommendation for a feature update. No, I'm not even gonna talk
Nice.
about it. I'm gonna talk. I ain't gonna talk. I'm gonna leave it
Okay.
alone. I'm gonna leave it alone.
This
JP in
your
the building.
platform.
Yeah.
This your platform, daggone it. Tell him to get his own portion of cornbread.
That's
You know what I mean?
Get JP High Tech in the building. Listen, hold on. Let's go and give some flowers to this man. He jet setting too. I know I'm 35,000 feet in the air, but I know he out there doing it too. Man, this
out in them
this
streets.
man is out here doing it, taking photos, videos, rapping. Man, listen, JP High Tech is the real deal. Holyfield, appreciate you for being here, brother.
See, you gotta give him credit where he's due. It's like you found out afterwards.
That's right. I'm petty tonight, boy. I'm petty. I can't even find the trading post. Maybe they did kick your boy out. Hold on.
They did.
Trifling. Gonna be a fun time in Boston in October if they did.
What you done did, bro?
Gonna be a fun time when I go down there.
I had to shoot up there and hang out with y'all, man.
Yeah, you should. Because we go. Did they kick me out? No, they didn't kick me out. Okay, here we go. So this was started by, it doesn't say who it was started by, but.
Oh, so somebody started it and you chimed in.
Yeah. Someone. No, I asked a question. I gave a feature request and said I would love for, like these transitions when I go from one scene to the other, if it's very similar to like a TV broadcast, it would have kind of a jib and a kind of an Ansel Adams effect is what I said. So how it actually will pan and zoom on it. And I was told, but don't be putting feature requests in the Ecamm community. That goes in the beta group. And I said, okay, but damn, I didn't know pardon me.
Oh, you didn't know that.
All right. Well, I didn't know I was outside of Facebook protocol. So I said, I'm gonna show y'all. I ain't gonna make no more recommendations.
Oh, that's why Lionel say he's all in his feelings.
Okay. Yeah, right.
Lionel, you got him. Okay, you in your feelings.
I ain't even gonna die.
I do not to go. Remember when I was pixelated that one week? I went into the beta. I went to the beta community. I didn't go into the main community. Cause that main community, man. That's like you know what Ecamm does? It's like, and this is in all due respect. This is kudos to Katie and the twins and the family, right?
Yeah.
And Doc and them. It's like Ecamm is like the community that's like you go and you buy a pot from Crate and Barrel and you expect them to give you a cooking class. Like they don't owe you a cooking class. They just sold you the pot. Like you mad, you like, so do I mix the eggs with the flour? And you mad, and then you got everybody in there like, well, I do mine sunny side up, and I do this and I do that, and it's like, yo, why are we all doing this? But I mean, I agree with Lionel. Like I was going to come back in the community and try to help people, and there it is with the right? A lot of this, I'm not just putting all on me. I kind of started it because back in the pandemic, as the people that I met, got to know, I pulled up off of what Steph and Katie was doing, and I kind of threw in there like, yo, I'm trying to understand this, blah, blah, blah. But I kept it in line with, and then it got into, oh, dude got 2 cameras and he got 3.
Mm-hmm.
Then we started getting in people I love that started getting into the bragging thing. And then everybody's copying at one another. And then, you know, in all due respect to like what Doc is saying, the value of Ecamm is the community. But see, some of the other programs, the reason why people like them and they're not better to me is because their community doesn't get all into the stuff that we do.
Exactly.
And that's why I really thought that Let's Get Live was a good idea. And it started, you know, but then things kind of went wherever they went.
Yeah, everyone
you
went
know,
their own
and
way. Yeah.
Yeah, everybody went their own way. And then I think some of it is where we feel guilty on just saying, hey, I started in this, but I got to do something different. So this not going to work for me. Because if you're honest with that, then you can replace and grab the help you need. To say, if Keith said, hey, I'm in, and you got James, High Tech, Lionel, Keith, and I'm like, you know what, man, I'm going to get back into my ministry a little bit more. So I'm only going to be good to tell people how to, you know, get the audio joint right. Then we can come up with a plan to keep the system going. So then it kind of all fell back on, onto Ecamm itself. It's funny because you're scrolling through my page, some of the videos, like I took my shot at the Tom Buck thing, you know, the Caleb Pike thing, whatever, and on the show equipment. And then I end up realizing, like, yo, I'm not gonna be the fool that's like, I'm gonna do a review on a Sony A7 R5. Like I'm not saying don't do it, but it's just like down the road, when you look at a Gerald Undone, I mean, this dude go. I look at him specifically for if I want to go to numbers. This dude going to show you why the prime lens Sony is better than the Sigma or they're equal, because up here in the top left corner, if you zoom in on that, I'm like,
Gerald got all the tools to show, you know, light meters and light accuracy and things like that. He's the truth. Yeah, he's not the bar. He is above the bar, and just being in the same conversation with him would be dope. But yeah, he does something different.
Why are people throwing that in the review? Like you can't shake a stick at that guy. Why are you trying? Then the goofiness of Vong, I think it's Jason Vong.
Vong. Yeah, he tight too. Yep.
He sold the A7R5 on me. I mean, at Disney World. It's like, and he's having fun. See, that's the thing. A lot of these folk that are dope, they're having fun at what they do. Manny Ortiz was a cop. Did you know that? He used to be a cop in Chicago. Yeah, he was a cop. That's why he all gunned up. You know, he's a cop. He quit his job being a cop. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong. Manny Ortiz was a cop. His wife is a nurse. Wow. And she's called Model Nurse. Like, she is just stunning. Like, their pictures that they do. Yeah. But that's what he do. He have fun. So if you watch his reviews, he's not going to go in as detail as a Gerald Undone. Manny's going to say, you know, I like to hold it, you know, because the way you hold it. So my recommendation is, if you are the type of person that just like to point and shoot and blah, 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 then you want to get this. His reviews are on how he functions. And that's some of the things that people don't know. By the time you start to be the explainer or you try to help people, give them what you do. Because if it's not stop it. That's the thing. Stop it. Mm-hmm. You see, that's like me reviewing bags. I can review the bag that I use, but I can't get into reviewing bags because I'm not going out and buying all these different bags to help you to know what's the best bag to get. It's crazy. Look at this guy, man. I love this guy, man. He's so fire. He's so fire.
He's pretty dope. Yeah, I started following him even before Vong and before a couple of the other cats out there, but yeah, just
so that's his wife on that first package there on the left, on the presets package. That's his wife there. She, man, and the funny thing is, she got some dope shots with other photographers. That's like, whoa, like, bro. I'm like, man, you know,
out here doing it. What Ortiz family out here? Okay, I ain't mad.
They doing the shots, man. They doing the shots. But
what are you gonna do? We invented and ranted, but you know, hopefully brought some value. I know Lionel telling me to get out of my I'm cool now. I got it out.
I gotta agree with Lionel a little bit.
I
He's in
know.
your feelings on that. He's in the wrong.
Hurt my feelings. I'm not gonna say who hurt my feelings.
James, like, I'm taking my basketball. Ain't nobody playing ball.
I'm gonna go play in my own sandbox. Let's show y'all.
He took the shovel and the bucket. Y'all don't like what I said? I'm taking the shovel and the bucket.
Y'all ain't coming over here to play in my sandbox. See, what's up, Richard? He calling me Bobby there. He said I look like Bobby Brown. I posted an old school picture and he said I look like Bobby Brown.
That picture, bro. I was like, James.
That was back in the
God.
day.
My God, that's a dope picture, bro. That's a dope picture.
Back in the
Real
day.
Dope.
Back
Real
in the
dope,
dancing
man.
days.
Huh?
Back in the dancing days, you know.
Boy, you used to do the Dougie and all that stuff, man.
Bro,
you did them dances.
Listen, me and Hammer used to get down, man. I know all the moves. I used to. The knees don't do it anymore, though. I can't move like that anymore.
Oh, the knees don't do it no more.
Yeah. I can't do all of that. The hammer and the new edition moves anymore. These 50-something-year-old knees just don't do it like that anymore.
You be trying and you like, nah, it's not gonna work.
I know.
No
I be trying to. I be embarrassing to the kids, but can't do it no more. My God,
man. Bro, man, it's been real. I'm glad we talked a little bit about this.
I'm glad you and Lina helped me get out of my own way.
You're still not out. It's
gonna take about another 48 hours. I'll be good by October when I go to where we going? Boston. I'll be good by then. But until then.
But do you see the cycle? Is it me or is it like a cycle now? Like it's like I look back over 2 years of how we all started at ECAM, and this is like a school where it's like, yo, everything is good. The school is great, but the curriculums, like, it's some useless curriculums. And you see the new people coming in and nobody's telling everybody, like, yo, let me save you the trouble. And they're coming in like oppressed because you got the people that still can't figure themselves out. As soon as somebody comes on, I'll be done crash the whole joint. They'll be and kick me out. It'll be like, don't take advice from people that'll give you advice. Just go look at their page and ask them a personal question.
Hold on. What you just said there may be it. Maybe the thing that's frustrating, right? Again, a lot of us didn't stop. A lot of us may have started whenever we started 3, 4, 5 years ago, whatever the case may be, right? Pandemic, whatever. We didn't stop and we progressed and got to a point. There's now all the conversation, unfortunately, is at that 101 level, right? At that introductory level. We're not seeing anybody raising the level of the conversation to that 201, 301, to that expert level. And again, kind of maybe like Lionel was saying, maybe we stop pointing fingers at other folks and we just go out there and do it. I don't think we're waiting. No one's waiting for someone to come up with it. We have the capability to do it. It's just not there, which is a frustrating thing, because if folks would just get out there and do the work and figure it out and understand, instead of asking these trivial questions, not putting anybody out there, not saying that I probably shouldn't have said the word trivial, but instead of asking these redundant questions about certain things, and if you've never fired up the camera and you've never turned on the microphone, you've never actually done the thing, that's the frustrating part right there. You asking us how to level up and do all of this CBS, NBC, ABC type stuff when you haven't even done, right? You haven't even plugged anything in yet. And broke it, tried to break it, and fixed it, and figured out how to get back up, right? You haven't gone through any of that, and you trying to ask us, and I don't know, maybe that's, I think, to be honest with you, I think that's some of the frustrating part with me, is that, I mean, we just need to find that crew, that group, kind of, again, like Lionel said, and just actually start having those deeper conversations about folks who are on a different path, and nothing wrong with the folks coming in brand new. Yeah, still have that dialogue, still have that conversation, but man, I would love to get you and a JP and a Lionel and you know, and Flo, and just folks who are already in the game and already at another level, and just keep pressing and progressing and keep encouraging and keep saying, hey, get them overlays right. Hey, get that lighting right. Do this, do that, right, and level up a little bit more. I just wish there would be that dialogue as opposed to, should I buy a new MacBook Pro or the new Mac Studio because it came out, and will the Mac Studio run on Ecamm? I'm tired of seeing.
Well, okay, so here's where we're failing people at, right? So sometimes we knock the hustle of someone who rises up on Instagram or YouTube and then they create a masterclass, and we look at it like, you gonna give us some pre-recorded garbage, whatever it is at third. And technically it's not garbage. They're just not in a place to assess, well, Hicks is just trying to take his thing to the next level, but he already knows microphones, he already knows cameras, he already knows lighting. Basically what he needs is, camera presence, right? So that's when they'll have the different components, and I would look at them like, man, that's going, I want the one-on-one. Some people want the one-on-one and you can do it. It's only really two things necessary. It's either put out the pre-recorded package on, this is it, take it or leave it. You pay for this class and it's going to show you how to X, Y, and Z. The person that does that, they're the ones obligated to even update and say, hey, there are many new cameras coming out, and I've been doing this for 2 years. And the one thing that I use that's just a future-proof camera is a ZV-E10. Yes, the new ZV-1 came out. Yes, the so-and-so. Yes, you can use a full frame. Yes, you can use this. Yes, if you're on a budget, see my other class, and it'll tell you all the cameras capable of doing something that's not going to shift how it looks right here, regardless of this tier of cameras you're using. So here's a free giveaway I'm just dropping out there. I still stand to say, if you're on a budget, you fit into this category, you can get an A50-100. I don't recommend it, but if your budget's real tight and you have to make choices, get a Sigma 16mm lens, or 30 or 50 or 56. This is how you get the bigger bag. Take this course and find out to choose between the trio, which one of them you need based on where you're putting your camera at. If you're sitting back there, you need a 30. If you're sitting right here, you need a 16 wide enough, right? If you sitting further back, you need a 56. Like, somebody has to explain that. Then it doesn't matter if you put it on an A51 or up to a A6600 or something. Yeah. Then you tell people an APS-C. Why are new people being told to buy a full frame for streaming and they're not into photography? Like, help me. Yeah. Professional photographers still shoot with APS-C depending on their situation. So it's kind of like, why are we doing this? Those are master classes. That's what a master class should be for. I recently seen, it's not a stab at anybody in particular, but I seen a master class on the Stream Deck. It's like, got you, but you'll have some people going for a Stream Deck masterclass that don't understand the camera that they're pushing a Stream Deck button to assess, because they need to understand the cameras that you got the buttons for on the thing. Then you got to look at, what is your stream? If you're just going into Zoom corporate, why are you going all through this? You understand what I'm saying? Like, what is your platform and stuff? And then if your church got Ecamm, you don't need to be sitting down talking to me or maybe you or somebody else. You need to be talking to Richard. You need to be talking to, different people that do live.
Yes.
Stuff that they're not behind the camera.
Yeah. That's
You got what I'm saying?
That's the frustrating piece, and Lionel gets it right there. I wanted to revert back because I think one person in the community, and I know there's a lot of folks, but I think one person in the community who got it and who understands their value and what they can bring to others is Diana. All right,
who's that?
Diana Gladney.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Right. So
that's why you don't see her a lot.
That's what I was gonna say. That's why she not out there just in them streets randomly. She's not out there just doing as Stephanie Garcia would say, drive-by live streams. She's out there really intentionally putting out valuable content, valuable work, and has pulled everything into her community. Right,
dude. You know what? And that's the non-guilt. Do it and don't feel bad. Because again, it's the old thing I said about the preachers. The pew is not stupid now. Not saying they were dumb before. And JP, I see exactly what you're saying. Like, I give JP credit. Like, without a whole bunch of, this is the old club song, action, not to bag of mouth. It's like, without a bag of mouth, you kind of looked up and you like, oh, this is what James does. This is what Kurt does. This is what JP does. This is what so-and-so do. And it's like, like me and Doc, we're actually creatives. DJ Rod, we're creators, right?
Mm.
So we might get extended in a long talk about, the A7, so-and-so. But if you really get down to it and ask us the question, we all know how to check one another and level in. You don't need that. Right. We're just having a good talk about, I'm laughing at the people that didn't know that JP High Tech got a red. People, what's a red? It's Komodo. Like, I ain't even held one in my hand before. So what I look like explaining, like, oh, this A7R5, this stabilization, it got 4K, 6K, blah, blah. And JP High Tech is looking at me laughing like,
that's cute. They'd be like,
yeah, it's cute. And I'm sitting there busting on him because he using an A66. And he like, yeah, but I got 2 reds sitting up in his shelf that I had no need to bring out for this little community event to just get somebody on camera for 20 seconds. Like, why are we doing all the piss and match with stuff? And again, the misleading. Shout out to Diana Gladney from way back from when I met her. Once I got to see her in the simplified state of stuff, I was like, I love her.
Mm-hmm.
Because if I'm like, yo, I got a wad of cash and I just want some sexy stuff, talk to me about a Leica camera. Right? But don't talk to me like telling me it's better than. Like, give me the real and say, yo, treat yourself to that since you trying to throw money around. I'm going to be like, somebody will be like, oh, I need a 24-70 zoom. If they bragging because they big pimping on money, spending cheese, I'm like, get the G Master. It's a sharper lens. Don't get the Sigma. But if you crying about money, I'm going to say, get the Sigma. Trust me, you'll be all right. Trust me.
You're going to be good. You'll be better than good. And I got the screen up right here to show, this JP, he got brick and mortar. Right?
Dog,
he not just digital. This man
came from left field.
Right?
Came from left field.
This is his building right here, y'all. So, yeah, this man know what he talking about. So, shout out to JP, man. Is that the red right there? No, that's not it. Let me see.
No, it ain't the red.
Yeah, no, that ain't. But just letting y'all know. This who we rolling with.
is doing, like, look, and he hooked up, what's his name? Go back, what's my man name right here? I forgot his name. I was on his show. He hooked him up, set him up.
Oh, yeah, Charles? Yeah.
Yeah, Charles. He hooked Charles up. Charles, I was on Charles' show, and Charles like, yeah, JP got me all situated and blah, blah, blah. That's what he did. You don't sit in the community asking a ton of questions and everybody just throwing out answers trying to be special. I'm trying to help people. Show them. That's the thing. Show them. If you showing people respect you more and encouragement to people that do the masterclass and stuff, you don't owe people nothing extra other than just being authentically you. That's all you owe them. And it takes a while to learn that. And that part about it is the give to grow. Give to grow don't mean you doing everything for free, right? You get your money based on consequence. So the consequence of the giving in a formatted way, you'll get what you need from it. And if that's your lane, that's what you do. But this other thing, I do think somebody needs to stop it, or else maybe that's just the bag for Ecamm. You keep selling the product, and not just Ecamm. I'm not just, pointing them out, but some of these communities are leading people in a false way. And what they're doing is, they see us and they go, what are you using? You say Ecamm. My client was in here today. Her guest was like, yo, this is dope. What? So you didn't hit the Facebook button. What did you use? She was like, we're going through this program, Ecamm. And the lady's like, I'm listening to her talk. She says, what do you say it's called? Ecamm? And I was like, whoa, Kimasabi. Like, what that's doing is streaming. While you were in my room, it was one camera. Let me show you what it can do. She's like, whoa. But you were sold on it just because of its stability to stream to Facebook and YouTube. But everything else you like, it's my room. Mm-hmm. It's the lights. It's the cameras. it's the action. That's not all in Ecamm. Because what you're not going to do is you take my affiliate link, but when you get Ecamm, now you're going to be like, but my stuff don't look like that. You're right. This how much it's going to cost to look somewhat like that. You see what I'm saying? Like, I want to be clear. This what it's going to take to look somewhat like that.
Okay.
Right. Okay. And if you see me on James' show or JP or somebody showing, you say, "Oh, that looked real good with the stuff he had floating across the top." You can pay James to look like that, but Ecamm don't give you that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
See, that's the thing that people don't get. Ecamm don't give you that, and if you don't pay for it, everybody's in the community mad with Ecamm because it's like, well, I'm trying to get the thing to float across the screen, this, that, and the third. Yo, I think the problem with the product is it's not sold with. They might have to sell it with a waiver to say, in order to learn the things that you see,
there's no boundaries. Yeah, right. You're right. There's no bowling bumpers on it, right? I mean, people look at West Team and think they can do all this. Don't realize that I got 1, 2, 3. I got 5 assets running separately into Ecamm right now. But right now, just for this scene, folks, there are 5 individual assets running into Ecamm, allowing.
And to do that, that's a James Hicks masterclass.
Come on,
see, that's the thing.
One more again.
That's a James Hicks masterclass. Ladies and gentlemen, if you like what you see on the screen, things moving around, yes, it is ran on a platform called Ecamm. But all of the things that you see on the screen are actually the sole creativity of James Hicks. The ability to do those all together is coming from Ken and Glenn in Ecamm, but the uniqueness of what you see on this screen is coming from James Hicks. If you'd like to join the masterclass, it is well worth the value. And you can get it at the you get 10% discount.
You give me a whole lot of discount. I was about to give you a.
All right.
Listen, we gotta keep the lights on. I got 2 kids in college. 10% is a little higher than I was planning on cutting them.
If you type in the code Carolyn Hicks, you get a 10% discount.
Make sure you spell it right. LYN. Make sure you spell it right too, boy. I heard that.
And just so you know, that 10% will be reimbursed. James will pay that.
It'll all be going to her. Yeah, it'll all be going to her. Right. It'll all be going. That's all good. I see you in the building, Mama. I appreciate you for being. Lord have mercy. Let me put this up what JP said. He said, "That's why I love this show so much. Real conversation to truly grow together, not just inviting folks on topics to mirror others and add no value." My goodness. Ecamm does not create After Effects for you. It has to be custom created people. I tell the story all the time. And JP, I'm glad you're here. I'm gonna get you these flowers. I was doing shows for a long time, and JP said, "Hey, bro, content is dope. Your interviews and everything is tight, but I tell you what you need to do. You need to level up your overlays and your thumbnails." JP called me about, I think it was like 9:00 my time, and he. Look, were you Mountain Time, Central Time? Was he 2 hours ahead? So it was 11:30.
Yeah, you over them.
He in Tennessee,
streets, over that way. Yeah, them Tennessee.
So I tell you what I did though. That night when he called me, I stayed up until about 12:30, 1:00 in the morning, tightened up them overlays, tightened up them thumbnails. And I took that feedback constructively, and I said, "This is a man who I look up to as well, look to as a mentor out here in these digital streets, and he's telling me to do this next thing to get to that next level." And I take that with me, and I say that all the time. So hope you still here, JP, just because again, I tell that story all the time, brother. And, I'm always out here trying to innovate 1% better every single day. And that's what we're trying to do. So you got to be kind of a little fired up right now, Keith, because I think that's what's missing. I think that's my personal frustration with the folks that are out here doing the work. We just need a forum. We just need a location. We just need something to encourage. Not that it's not out there already, but not that it's not effective. But I just want to be more conscious about making sure that the person to the left and to the right is progressing.
So look at what he said. James is 100% speaking the truth. Make sure you look at what Carolyn said. Read that on the side. Handle your business. But he says James is 100%. Shout out to Carolyn. Listen, no, listen. But it's like
Juneteenth all month because we didn't know what day. That's right. It wasn't.
But look, he said you're speaking the truth, right? And honored that he even took the time to implement my feedback. This is one of those things where it's like iron sharpens iron. And let me play off the word feedback, right? See, he gave, and he understands his giving grows him, right? Now let's kind of get a little biblical here. Don't give out good gifts to swine, right? Hate to use that word swine, but if you really get into it, people that don't know, they're like the people at the park that just feed the geese bread all the time, but they don't realize that if 18 families come by there with their kids and throw out a bunch of bread, the bird's going to choke and you'll kill half of them because there's no controlled feeding. And so sometimes people come into the community and they come in there with all these breadcrumbs and they just want to feed all the geese. That's just like, oh, and they don't really want to ask the people that got the master classes that are legit. Folk get too cheap to pay for it. So they want the free information. Then when you get free information that goes wrong, it's like buying something cheap and then it messes up. And then it's kind of like buying, instead of getting the cam link, you get all these, oh, Amazon got one for $10. And after a while that break, or it's like, instead of getting the Sony battery, everybody's getting something else because that's cheaper. And then after a while it break. And then you got to now go get the right thing. So somebody like JP is like, kind of like we say, game recognizes game.
Yeah.
Right. And game recognize, you know what he would know about me? He knows I'm not going to do what you're doing. He knows I'm not going to do exactly what he's doing because I'm like improv, right? I'm Saturday Night Live, right? y'all the Tonight Show. I'm Saturday Night Live.
Make it plain.
Saturday Night Live is just kind of like I'm on. So remember, Saturday Night Live is a show. It's Jimmy Fallon is a show, but the difference is the improv going on. I'm improv, so I don't have to cross on my T's and dot the I's. I think my ISO is probably jumping because I said something with the camera. I don't care, right? But you host day after day, so you have to be more tighter. Game recognized game. You don't see JP just going in, looking at everybody broadcast like, oh, you should do this, you should do that. Why waste your time on it?
Yeah.
It's like, you can come to my masterclass. I'll show you. You can call me for a consultation and we can do this the business way. Now, somebody like you, it's like, James don't need a whole consultation. He just need constructive criticism on something right here. So I'm going to feed that. Because now if he needs some bread, right? I'm not talking about money, but if he needs some bread, you'll feed it to him and he'll receive it. You see, we both photographers. He might be like, yo, Keith, that's fire. That shot right there. Oh, what you do there? This dude been doing it 20,000 years longer than me. But if I get that one thing that he's like, damn, I love that. He's going to ask me and I'm going to ask him. Like, I don't do inside headshots like that. I do my own. But if I decide to take on a clientele, I'm going to look at the fact he has a studio. I'm going to be like, yo, bro, I got to do these headshot corporate. That's a whole nother ball game. Say amen, JP. Yeah, I need to do corporate headshots. You can't just point and shoot like I'm doing with me or Tina. Corporate headshot is a certain way you got to turn. You got to do a certain thing. You got to light it a certain way. You got to.
It's like them real estate photos, right? Everyone got the arms. It's the same thing. It's got to look like that.
People think real estate shooting is you just walk into the the room with a gimbal and just run up and down the step. It's like, no, and you can't put your 70-24 lens on the gimbal trying to do like real estate. That's a whole nother ball.
Hey JP, you gonna come on here in the next 2 weeks? I know you're probably traveling right now, but hey, you coming on in 2 weeks on Thursday, boy?
He in that private jet.
Well, he in that private jet. He in the perfect zone. G4. That's what he's flying right now. Yeah, no, I wouldn't doubt it. I would not doubt it. All right, man. I think we good. We didn't give it to him. I'm gonna stop doing my analogy. I always say that we crack dealers and we gave him just a little bit more people coming back. I got to stop doing that. I got to come up with another analogy. That's a bad one. Yeah.
So we'll get to the notes next time, right? I forgot what
listen,
I put.
And I got them open right here too, right here. We got 2 notes. I think. Let's see. I'm not gonna. Yeah, we gonna. You spend so much time. Ooh, that's a good one though. Golly, that was the first one you wrote. Then I had to chime. You can spend so much time learning and discovering how to do stuff that you never do stuff and actually get stuff done. Good. Googity goo.
You can close on that. I'll keep my mouth shut.
No,
I knew that hit you.
That was the one. That was the first one. That was the first one in the notes right there. I think that's what we're gonna hit them with next time.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say it one more time for the people in the back.
Say it one more time. Put the camera all on you. Make me little or take me off for a second. You go ahead and put on you and say.
You gonna go pour you a drink? See, hold on.
No, it's empty.
All right, I'll make him.
Look at that room. That thing is fire. See, I like that. I like that, boy. Look at that room.
Hey, you see them hex colors? I know my blue. I know my orange. That's okay. I'm not gonna get it.
Shout out to Jennifer. You did that room up nice, girl.
Hey, see, there you go. She gonna come in here and
shout
take credit
to Jennifer for putting that man room together the right way. See, that's what I'm talking about.
See, you gonna cause some trouble right there. So
ladies and gentlemen, notice how quickly and smoothly he slid me in on the side. He know his buttons. See, if James got a masterclass on how just to put his show up and deal with the improv incognito Keith Pelzer, y'all need to pay for it. I'm telling you, it's worth every dime just to sit down with James Hicks and find out how do you do this show and deal with a late Negro coming in like 1 minute before the show. Link up, restream, had the overlays popping, shout the boy out on the bottom.
You didn't even pair your channels, right? You know, so because we normally.
Dude, I thought I did. I was late. I was I posted on mine to link in you.
Yeah.
I send everybody to your YouTube because I was late.
You know, this is business over here. You know, listen. Tell you, okay, I'm gonna read the.
Yeah, give him a walkthrough. Read that and then give him a walkthrough.
I'm gonna read the announcements, ladies and gentlemen. Prepare for the announcements. Brother Hicks is gonna read for the coming week. You can spend so much time learning and discovering how to do stuff that you never do stuff. And actually get stuff done. That's found in the book. No, I ain't gonna do that. I know we gonna get carried away. We ain't gonna mess up now. Listen, but you can bring ye tithes and ye offerings to the super chats. See, I should have done that too.
Oh, that's a good pickup because Tina almost got my steak ready. You know what I'm saying?
Is that right? And we over here blaspheming. Bishop and walked in the room. Oh my, see. He felt. See, I was watching.
See, he felt that
because he was singing a few minutes. See, right before we went live, I was watching the bishop, right? Because he was having service, and I was watching him, and I was getting right mentally. And as soon as we get to close to blaspheming, here come the bishop. Oh Lord,
yo, Jay, you was killing it. You were on point. See, you got that it. I don't have that it. I could kind of learn this, but so here's the point on that. I could learn the stuff that you're doing, but it's not me, right? It's not me. And this is how partnership and working together is understanding the strengths. We can't really reverse this because you'll get frustrated with me. We can't like reverse this and do the same thing. It'll be, you would have to come on my platform, specifically me, with the improv mindset of like, all right, Keith just going to throw me in a box, on the joint. And, we throw stuff in the column. Like, it's not bad.
Let's.
But it's not, no, but what I'm saying, because I'm going to start popping on live and you're going to have a link just to pop in, JP, all y'all.
Yeah.
But the thing is, it's not going to be the same thing. And that's the uniqueness of each person. And so if somebody needs to know certain things about the setup here or different stuff, you can ask me. But if you need to know specifically about that it part that leans more towards the James, that's when you provide that masterclass for it. That's when you provide the, Keith can show you how he hooked up his audio and how he hooked up the desk behind him to put 4 people at it running into Rodecaster. That's my particular masterclass thing. You don't have a desk set up in your room, so you're not doing a master class on that. You could tell people how to do it, but you won't be able to show them. All of this here and your room and everything, you can show that to them. And you do it. They can see your shows doing it. So that whole thing about learning is some people been learning since 2020. And it's like you got all that learning and buying.
That's it right there.
Never using and never doing.
That's it right there.
Not good.
That's it right there. We gonna have, that was the benediction, ladies and gentlemen. I got some triggers. I got to put my church triggers in here. I got the wrong triggers in here right now.
My mind's telling me no.
Can't play that too many times.
Thanks, Gabe. Woo, boy.
That was for you, Richard. I don't know if Richard's still in the building. That's the only Robert Kelly that we can play. Can't play too much more.
Answer. Look, Lionel, I'll answer it. The answer is no. You don't need to, right? Should you? We would say yes.
What are you using now? No, so Lionel, he didn't turn it. Okay, so Lionel's using the OG Rode Pod mic. Nothing wrong with that. That's
nope.
That's a dope dynamic microphone. You doing what you're doing, and it works. You don't, just like he's saying, you don't need the SM7B. But if you want to get to that Michael Jackson mic, come on over. It's not going to do you wrong. But what you got right now with that Rode Pod mic, you doing good work. You doing good.
Look, pretty much same thing. So I do have a couple of mics open, so you hear a little bit more room. I moved over to the what is this? The MV7.
That's the MV7.
So I moved over to MV7. So use your own ear. I mean, you can tweak. I could put more bass in this mic, or whatever. You hear more room because I got more than one mic open. But if I shut the mics off, I literally can just be live and talking on here and doing this. And like nobody really says like, oh, the other mic sounds better. The difference between these two mics is over $100. So, and honestly, I'm gonna throw this out here on the Hicks show. I prefer the MV7 because it takes up less space in your shot. You don't hear most people talk about that. Look at it. It's less intrusive. It's smaller. It's a percentage of the size. So now if you're going live and I need to, when I get my Focus shirt, I got to order the shirt. James, I'll cash it. Just send me the daggone shirt. I'll cash app you, whatever.
I don't already gave you the discount link to VIP discount.
I don't need the discount. I'm going to pay the full price. Just send it to me. I see the address. Just get me a shirt. I need a medium. But check it out. If I'm wearing a Focus shirt, medium. Right? If we were kind of like doing this and we like, we trying to sell James equipment, we want to put an emphasis on it. The subliminal part of it, a SM7B will be kind of like too big in here. So intentionally, I'm wearing this and I'm using this mic so you can see it. It's and then you can get two of these and color them up in X, Y, and Z. But the sound of it is not like super superior to that one, depending on how you set it. Okay.
So say that right there, because out the box, right? It's not. It sounds a little flat right now. But again, when you go USB, you use the Rode software, you can add the bottom into it. You can do all of the effects and things of that nature. But right out the gate, it's got a little bit of the high pass is there, right? You sound a little flat, but
the high pass is in there. Yeah. It's flatter. I got two mics, so that one's still open, so you hear a lot of the room. If I shut that down, now you have more of a notice I took the room away because now I'm not talking into that mic. So if I had a bunch of people in here, somebody will be sitting in front of that. And so the mic is tweaked that it'll like kill it. So right now, this is the only mic open.
Yeah.
And, if you notice, the sound got a little bit more tighter.
Yeah, you got a little more resonant and you got a little bit more bass in your voice. You got some tone in your voice now.
Yeah. So you know what I would do? So this is where gas comes in at, but necessity. These four mics over here, the other two are down here. The four mics over here, the only thing with it, Alexa, turn on stand-up desk. So the four mics over here, the issue is I don't have singular control other than on the Rodecaster to tweak it to get the specific sound I get in the Apollo. But if I upgrade and get the extended Apollo, I can have a channel for each one of these mics and tweak them specifically for each person. So that would be the thing. But when I have 4 people at the table, they get me through, and it's just fine.
Yeah. And it sounds perfect. That would be a logical upgrade if you wanted to. You don't need it. Right. So again, we're telling you that, just like JP and you and I and everyone was even telling Lionel just now. Yeah, keep that pod mic. You don't need the SM7B, but it would be a nice upgrade down the road if you decide to go that way. Maybe find a way of getting some revenue from some of your streams, or putting something out there on Buy Me a Coffee or something, and have your community chime in for it. The folks that support you, the folks that are watching your streams and listening to your messages, maybe they can assist in getting some of the cash for the SM7B instead of you having to put the bill yourself.
So look, okay. So
Alexa doing the ushering. Come on now, Alexa. Over there.
Watch this.
She at the doors. Alexa is over. She's standing at the door, boy. I ain't mad, with the gloves on and everything. I remember them days. Okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
So look, here's the here's the disease in communities, right? People have to understand each person has their unique room. So, and they build their rooms for their specific reason. When people don't understand their why, they want what you have, or they want to do what you're doing, and they don't actually know why. So it's kind of like the Stream Deck. So I have 2 Stream Decks matched to the whole system. And the Stream Deck over here on this table is for if I'm doing something with the family or I'm doing a podcast from over here, I can control everything on this iPad over here. I mean, on the Stream Deck. And the funny thing is, I actually had people say, I want to do my room like that. And I said, why? And they said, because that's just dope. And I'm like, but what's your why? Because if you don't have a why, then you got Stream Deck pedal, you got this, that, and the third. There's a whole nother setup over there, because sometimes I have to monitor on Ecamm through the Ethernet over there. And I use the mouse to go over to this computer so I can stay out of the way because of the clients I have in there.
That's your stand-up?
Yeah, the stand-up.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
So it's like, so that's the room there. Well, let me get to the stand-up. So the stand-up is over there. And when I do Voice America, I'm always on that stand-up because I have to monitor Zoom while the client sits over there. And so all this stuff has a purpose and a reason. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's not just because. It has a reason for doing it. So yeah, people, you don't have to, don't try to follow everybody else's rules. Like, the basics of it is understanding your camera. I'm sounding like JP High Tech now. The basics of it is understanding your camera, right? Understanding lighting. So now normally I would put those lights up here. So I just turned on the dome light so you can see me a little bit better over here in the corner. It's figuring that stuff out. And then James, back to what we were talking about before, somebody actually came in this room that does podcasting equipment. They were like, I noticed these stools are higher than those. And I said, yeah, that's done for a reason. And they were like, what made you come down to that? I took the time to measure the height of this for comfortability of engagement, right? Because at a bar stool height, think about bar stools. People at bar stools, they talk a certain way at a bar. They slouch forward, they get into the conversation rather than sitting down at the table slouching back. Nobody sits at my table and slouches back from the conversation. So the podcast that I do out of this room, the engagement is actually better because intentionally I put it where people can face each other here. I can put chairs over there, but the engagement is better because we're up into the conversation. Right? It's like, it's intentional.
Yeah.
My desk over here is counter height. It's not like a seat. It's counter height
Okay.
because it lifts you into the conversation. So yeah, that's the stuff. I know I could do masterclass on that, but my masterclass wouldn't be do what I'm doing. It would be an assessment on what are you trying to accomplish. So it gets back down to, if you don't understand your why, you're screwed.
And that's what that is. That's more of a consultancy as opposed to a and there is that, maybe I'm drawing hairs or picking
James, go for it.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
That's actually the fact of, I can just come at you one-on-one and give you some rationale in terms of what is it you're trying to do, and I can help you get there, as opposed to trying to give you a blanket statement saying do this, do that, and do that, and you will look like this. Right. Let me have you one-on-one, like Chris Stone is in the building. Appreciate you for being here, brother. Right. Come. Chris Stone knows everything. Listen, if y'all need some Final Cut Pro work done, if you need anything done, digital or video, Mr. Sony man knows what's jumping off. But again, I digress. The idea is having those one-on-one conversations, giving feedback, criticism, and consultation, as opposed to just having 20 or 30 people logged into a Zoom or logged into a web conference and saying, I'm doing this, so you should do it as well. And if you keep practicing, you're going to be great. No. Have you on a one-on-one conversation and say, this is why I'm doing this. Does this resonate with what you're trying to do? If so, this is what you need to do. If not, we're going to move on and go another direction. That, I think, is subtle. It really is subtle, but I think that's probably the direction that I'm going to go. Right. I'm really more locked into the one-on-one conversation and making sure that you get value from an engagement or an interaction with myself, as opposed to trying to boil the ocean. Right. As opposed to trying to just throw something out there and hope it sticks. I would much rather have 1, 2, 3 handful of folks and say, okay, this is what you're trying to do. Let's get you right. I don't know all the answers though. Let me put that out there. But I do know a lot of folks. So if I don't know an answer about photo, video, whatever the case may be, I know somebody named JP Hightech. I know someone named Keith Pelzer. Let me put you in contact with these subject matter experts as well. And I can be that, again, I don't like the word influencer, but I like the word advocate. I can be the one that puts you in contact with those other subject matter experts. There we go, man. We preaching. Jen done told me that dinner is ready.
Yep. Yeah, and I smell my steak. You know what I'm saying? You
probably got another glass of Pinot. Did she drink it for you?
Oh, no, what is it? Malbec. She like Malbec.
Oh, that's what y'all drinking? Oh my goodness. Okay. See.
Malbec. Yeah, she got that good act right on Thursdays.
Well, let's see. Furniture. Let's make sure we close out these comments. I wanna talk about. I brought it up. I made fun about your siphon coffee, but we gonna talk about that.
Yo,
that's in our notes. So next session is gonna be in the Pelzer chef's kitchen, y'all. And we gonna be doing what we do, siphon coffee. That's what we gonna do. Let's make sure. So without a why, no setup makes sense. Take it from somebody who built streaming studios for a living. I'm in New York right now on another one. That's where he went. Look at that. He was flying to New York City.
That's the closing line. I'm not adding no more nuggets. That's it. Yeah. Say it again. What he said. Because I seen it from here. I didn't put it on the big screen.
And your glasses don't even have frames in them. I mean, don't even have lenses.
No, I actually read. Yeah, without a why, no setup makes sense. You know what? I'm done. I can't agree with that more because I didn't try to help people. A guy, he bought better lights than me. He got the same cameras I got. A couple of other things. My brother, I love him. I ain't gonna say his name, but he know if you were to see this, he know I'm talking about him. And he got the money to do it. Got the stuff. I told him to get a ZV-E10. He got 3 of them. He got. Okay. I told him to get something else. I told him to get a TS3. He got a TS4. Messing around the community. And then he called me and it's like, yo, I need your help. What's the matter? I can't get this stuff that's on.
That's terrible.
God, okay. I don't know. Hey, go ahead and play us out there with some of the y'all.
No, I ain't got nothing with this. I don't even know what I got on these things, man. Go
right,
ahead, end
brother.
the show, man. Put me on the small screen. I'll talk to you, man. Eat your food, man.
See, because I need to correct you too. You said this is a Hicks. This is a joint collaboration, right? You see
Right.
the two logos at the bottom, and it's 50-50. Yeah, it's not 20-50 like your picture. It's not 20-50.
Yo, you better go ahead and do that. Byron, you better Byron Allen this whole situation, man, with your collaborations.
It's written down. It's on. It's
So
on
he-
the vision. It's
so
on
you
the
got
vision.
your
It's in the
collect-
Notion workbook. It's in the Notion. Yeah.
JP, help your boy out. I'm gonna tell him. So I'm saying this on this Hicks Pelzer collaboration. What you may want to consider is with your expertise on knowing how to run the platform well, how you do it. You have those people that you collaborate with, me, different people that come on with. Now, for other people who need a handheld, you can put them on your YouTube channel, but it can be their show. And you actually create your own Netflix, because the fear in most people to just be out there by themselves. You can also work up an agreement or something where after X amount of shows, you can simultaneously build up your own momentum and pull away from it afterwards. But by the time they're gone, they done did all their shows on your YouTube. So think about how many subscribers that instead of subscribing to them, they subscribe to Hicks to watch these different things. And you literally create a network inside. It's the same thing that Netflix, Apple TV, Hulu, and everybody did with cable. Remember, it was only cable. And everybody was watching cable, but then you get Netflix and everybody jumps into Netflix, but then you got the options to watch the different shows on the different platforms. It's crazy, but and it takes thinking to get in there.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
I literally was going to do it, like the convos. And this is something that's not like I need a copyright idea or something. It's just something that anybody can do. And people do it without knowing they do it. I literally would do the Tina Pelzer show, the Isaiah and Caleb show, the preacher show, the photographer show on my channel. Right? Because some of these people, they don't even want their own channel. They don't really care for it. They just want to go live. And they can always have their exclusive Facebook. Because remember with Ecamm, I can put you on Facebook on your page, but put you on YouTube on mine.
Yes, sir.
You see what I'm saying? So your YouTube, everybody show that you're helping. So what you provide for them is, I got all your overlays and this, that, and the third. So when you come on, here's your show. But I'm popping it to my YouTube. So now I'm drawing all the traffic into my YouTube, into the pool of the shows that I have. And you have a whole audience of intermingling. And then people still have their own individual space as well. If they want to upgrade it simultaneously, you have them tied in where it's just like, yo, you can go to your YouTube, but you have to go to my YouTube as well. See? And it's your branding.
The mind is spinning right now. So
it's your branding, because it's like right now, if I wanted to start doing this, or I had an idea that doesn't really involve you per se, let's say I'm talking about music, and you kind of like, well, Keith, I don't have nothing to add to the music, which you probably do, but if let's just say, nah, I'll pass on that, or you doing a little preacher show, y'all go ahead and talk about your, commentaries, whatever. I might be like, yo, I need it to look exactly like you make this look. So, either I'm going to just pay you as a one-off, or, you can say, oh, you can also watch the Keith Pelzer show something on Hicks platform. Right? It's like, it ain't hurting.
Yeah.
It's like a movie that's on Hulu, it's on Apple TV, and it's on Netflix at the same time. I mean, everybody eating from it.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking right there. You don't want to tell me 2 times. I tell you what.
Yeah.
And JP, no, I'll mess around, be up all night tonight, spinning something up. We shall talk. We shall talk. That's a great idea. Appreciate that, man. We gonna all do it together. We gonna all do it together. You gonna get 20% because that's you 20-50, right? And then we sprinkle in a couple. All right, I'm done. We out. Well, look at him. Look at him looking clean.
Play the
Got
outro.
the
Go ahead,
Lawrence
play the
Fishburne.
outro, man.
Got the Lawrence. Yeah, because I want to see these photos before we go. All right, folks. I think in 2 weeks we're gonna talk about siphon coffee. We're gonna be in the Pelzer chef's kitchen. We're gonna talk about some other stuff, and he may even be the one produce. Look, oh my God, hold on. Let me get off the screen.
That's the example right there. Look at this guy, man. Look at this. Look at it. Look at it.
Boy.
So I took my client to this very scene right here.
HDR in that right there. That's what I'm looking at. Okay. I'm seeing some things in that picture already.
Ooh, man. It's an old bridge, man. That's around the way. So,
yeah. All right. We're going to talk about it. We out, folks.
All right. Holla.
Appreciate y'all.